Well, indirectly.
Uh-huh.
What caused that was using my right hand too much.
Oh.
But here, I didn't hold on to the club tight enough with my left hand.
Uh-huh.
I should pull the club through this way, do you see?
Oh, I see. Yes, yes.
Watch this a moment.
Uh-huh.
Here the left arm pulls the club right through the ball. You can see that the right hand is kept out of the stroke until it is time to put in the big punch. Even then, I find it best to think only of using the left. If I try to whip the club through with the right hand, I always get a hook like the one you saw a moment ago. Now, here's the thing about the hand that's very important. At the top of the swing, the club must not be held so tightly that the wrist will be stiffened. And yet, it must be held firmly to keep it from turning in the hand. Now, notice here that I'm gripping the club mainly in the fingers of the left hand. I have a firm hold upon it, and yet my wrist can still work easily. I always have a better feel of the club head if I permit my fingers to open slightly at the top. You can see here the elevation of my hands at the top of a full swing. This is a source of great power and is made possible again by a straight left arm. It is almost as though the left arm were pushing the club away from the body to give the swing a broad sweep.
Excuse me, Mr. Jones. I noticed lately when I play my shots, and through my hips I'm always stiff and tight, and yet you seem to turn so freely on your hips. I wonder if that could be what's the trouble with my playing.
It might very well be. I think a free hip turn is very important. But you know, your feet can get in such positions that you can't have any freedom in your hips. For instance, if I were to turn my left foot out more toward the hole, like that, I would find that my left leg was in such position that my hips could not turn freely going back. You see? And if I were to turn the left foot in that way, I would find that it would obstruct the hip turn going through. Now, I think a compromise between those two positions is best, with both feet turned slightly outward. Now, when I stand that way, I find that my hips can turn freely both ways. And this shows what I mean. First, watch the action of the left knee and foot during the backswing. Then look at the position of the left foot, which makes this possible. You can go from the ground up and see how the position of the foot affects the movement of the knee, and that in turn the action of the hips. At the top of the swing, my back is almost square to the hole. And then when the club meets the ball, see how far around my hips have turned. And here's another thing. Notice where the right arm is just before impact, with the elbow quite close to the body and bent slightly. The left shoulder has been drawn up a little and the right down. This position shows clearly how the left side has been pulling. From this angle, it is shown clearly that I don't make any effort to plant my feet solidly in the ground. As the hips turn going back, the left knee bends and the right leg straightens. The left heel comes up during the backswing, and the heel of the right foot leaves the ground soon after the club starts down. Now, if you look over to the left side of the picture, you will see the clubhouse in the distance. The next picture you will see was taken from the balcony of this clubhouse overlooking the green. Here it is. Watch closely and you'll be able to follow the ball. The distance is 243 yards. My swing is a sort of compromise between the flat swing of the old Scottish school, which brings the club around below the point of the right shoulder, and the upright style, which swings almost vertically upward above the shoulder. Generally speaking, very tall men seem to favor a more upright swing, and short people want a bit on the flat side. I don't think it is wise to go to extremes in either direction.
That was fine. That was fine. Well, thanks a whole lot. Yeah, come, Loretta. Let's go. Where'd they go?
Oh, they've been gone for some while.
They... Well, you're a couple of fine flat feet, aren't you? Let those two get away.
We didn't see them.
Oh, shut up. I'll have your stars for this. You see if I don't. See? Good. Well, all right. He'll put one over on me. Say, what kind of a game of golf does he play?
Oh, well, and a fine player.
Yes, huh? Well, I'll get even with him. I'll make him play golf with me every day. Yeah. Say, you had something to do with this, too. I can tell from the twinkle in your eye. All right, I'll get even with you. You're going home.